Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And a good morning to you. It is a Coffee and Time on ON, AM, and FM. It's Tuesday morning. It's April 16th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. Linda Tebow's with us. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
And Ed Carew. Hi, Ed.
Hello there.
And we got to jump into all the important things. But first, a more important message from the Carew Investment Group. And here's Ed Carew.
Trying to get himself out of that one. Huh?
Yes, he did.
Incredibly
he did.
important message from Ed Carew.
That's the most important message.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. You know, in business, they say you don't last very long if you don't know what you're doing. And if that's the case, we must know a thing or two at the Carew Investment Group because we've been in business since 1987, helping people just like you with their investments. At the Carew Investment Group, we employ a conservative approach to client portfolios by using only the best quality companies available, many of which pay quarterly dividends. And we look for opportunities that we expect will go up in value not every day, but over time. We take responsibility seriously and always place our client first in any investment decision. If you want to know more or would like a free portfolio review of your current holdings, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right there, Ed. Thank you very much. All right, well, we're going to start off today, and I'm going to make a sort of an apology because a couple of people have called me out on something I said last week, and they took exception to it. And I'm like, okay. I maybe I just said it incorrectly. And the story we had last week, is the woman in Attleboro, Massachusetts, drove her car into the cannabis store, literally through the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it turns out it was a 62-year-old woman who was a customer of the store. And I guess I said some disparaging remarks about her age, and maybe 62-year-olds shouldn't be driving or something along those lines. The point I was trying to make was, and I keep forgetting, you know how close I am to 62? I'm only 4 years away.
Yeah.
Like, I keep thinking I'm 38, but I'm not. The point I was trying to make is, when you hear about these stories of people driving into buildings, they're always 60, 70, or 80 years old. They're older people, and maybe if you're driving into buildings, maybe you shouldn't be driving. You know.
Okay.
So it's not that everyone's in those age groups is a lousy driver, but I guess some are. And if you're mistaking the gas from the brake, then maybe you should stop driving. Or maybe she had a medical situation.
Well,
I don't know.
And many times most times I would venture to say that people drive into a building, it is a medical situation.
And not a mechanical.
And not
a
a moment of,
relapse.
brain lapse.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, I've seen, even the place where I skate in Concord, Massachusetts, they had a very young man who drove right into the rink building. He was having a diabetic situation.
All right.
So that's one. But I think some of them are caused because of a medical situation.
So I apologize for my.
But
if I offended somebody.
62 is very young.
Well,
when you sit in my chair, 62 is young. And that would eliminate a lot of drivers, 62.
Yeah, they're just kids, right?
My kids couldn't drive. One of them, I'd have to go pick them up again when they were kids. Yeah. I think, and things happen.
You're right.
That's why they call it an accident.
That's right. That's right.
But accidents happen to people of all ages, I guess is my point.
All right, moving right along. Ed, do you see gas prices going up because of what's going on now in the Middle East with Iran sending the drones over and the missiles over? Is this going to affect gas prices?
It has already.
It has already.
Gas prices.
Okay. I don't know. I'm pumping gas in a bit.
Yeah, it could affect it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's hard to tell what's going to happen out there.
Yeah. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, you might. I'm going to assume Israel will strike back at some point.
Yes.
They
will.
always do.
They will.
They said they
Quickly,
would.
soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said they would.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
said they
The thing with
would.
gas prices is they would be much higher than they are right now if it weren't for the fact that Iran, even with all of their sanctions, has gone from producing 2 million barrels a day to 3.5 million barrels a day is being sold to China.
Yeah.
So if they were still at 2 million barrels a day, you'd be looking at $100 oil
Right. Barrels.
$100 a barrel for sure. You know, so that's one of the reasons that the United States doesn't want
To do anything.
Israel to attack them, doesn't want Ukraine to attack Russia's facilities, all this kind of stuff to keep the price of gasoline and fuels down as we head into the election cycle.
That's right. All right.
Exactly. And it's summertime. Isn't gas
Yes,
more
yes.
expensive in the summer?
Gas is
anyway?
Well,
more
yeah.
expensive between now and
'Cause
like
the demand will go up.
July 4th.
July. Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
more
that's when
people
people are
driving.
driving more.
Okay. The other story you had business wise is Tesla is laying off 10% of their workforce. Is that a lot for that company, or is that going to be like minuscule?
No, that's
I don't
a lot.
I don't know how many
I
employees
don't
they
know
have.
how many employees they are, but they have a
So
lot of
this
employees.
is significant.
I mean, they turn out hundreds of thousands of cars a year. So you know, that's a lot of employees.
Okay. So that's just sales down with Tesla.
Sales are down on just about all EVs. I think the people who wanted EVs have bought them. The people who don't want EVs or
Are holding off.
well, they're either holding off or what is very popular right now is hybrids. You know, where it's part electric and gas, and people have taken to that much more than full EV, because with a hybrid you generally don't have to charge it. It charges itself, you know, as you're driving, whereas a full EV has to be charged, and the charging stations are somewhere between pathetic and awful.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that line of cars? These are the people that all ran to Vermont to see the eclipse in their EV cars, and now they were coming back, and they needed to be charged.
And they couldn't, waited hours.
Well, they
to
waited
charge.
hours
Yeah,
because there's very few charging stations
Right, exactly.
along the way, and it's not like a gas where you get in, pump,
Yeah,
get done in
exactly.
5 to 10 minutes, and you're on your way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, charging your car with an EV is going to take an hour.
And I think a lot of people, because of things like that, are starting to realize there are pitfalls to the electric cars. You know, the batteries cost more money. They don't last as long. You have to wait to charge them. And I think that's why the president is going on with this massive putting charging stations everywhere. But
Well, that's because they want no more gas-powered cars by
Right,
what year?
exactly.
2030
Whatever.
or
2035,
25?
I think.
35, something like that, yeah.
Okay.
But I think
That's
people,
coming soon.
I think some of the people that have bought those cars are finding out
They're not the great thing.
not the greatest thing they thought they were going to be.
All right.
That, you know, it seems to be when you hear them getting, you know, talking to folks, they're saying, you know, I had to wait for hours. Not
Yeah.
only just with going to see the eclipse, but when we have those freezes and it's so cold,
cold.
and then you've got all these cars stuck in the snow,
Mm-hmm.
and then what do you? There are pitfalls, I think, that I think a lot of people have
Now, Ed,
been concerned about.
your son's got one, correct? Or is it a hybrid?
No, he had a Tesla,
Okay.
and he either got rid of it or is getting rid of it, and he got another one. He got a BMW i4, which is also an electric car. But,
Okay.
But he got the BMW.
So where does he charge it? Does he charge it at his home?
He had a charger installed at home. He has
Okay.
solar panels on his roof, so he's able to create his own. But it still takes, you know, I mean,
Hours.
Yeah, it's an overnight charge.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a 10-minute or 20-minute deal.
Yeah. Like
So does
pumping gas.
he? Is that just part of the ritual? You get home and immediately charge up the car
I
every
guess so.
day,
I guess so.
just so you're ready to go the next morning.
Uh-huh.
All right. It might be the new normal, right? If we all go with the electric cars and you're just gonna plug it in, and I don't know if there's enough in the electric grid to handle.
Well, the grid is not going to be able to handle it. They're going to have to do something to boost
Yeah.
the grid.
Well, your son's smart because he's got the solar panel.
Well,
so
yeah,
it's all
I know, but
all-
everybody's not going to go spend that kind of
Well,
money
no,
to
they're
put
not.
solar panels on their house.
Yeah.
If they are even able to put it, you have to get permission
all
to
right,
get the
and
solar panels.
and your house is going to face the right way,
gonna
and,
face the
and,
right
and there
way.
could be trees in the way.
The electric company, which is now Rhode Island Electric, has to approve you for a certain amount of panels.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like jumping through hoops.
All right, so that's all right. That's
And
going
then
on
they
there.
catch on fire sometimes.
Yes, they do.
There was a fire recently with the
Really?
solar panels. Yeah. Yeah.
On someone's house.
Someone's house. No, it was a business.
Okay.
It was a business.
Are they? Is it like? Is the fire easily extinguished, or is it like the electric cars when they catch on fire?
I
We're
think
just
that
gonna let it
there was
burn.
an issue. Yeah. I don't remember the whole circumstance of it, but there was a fire. It was in one of those flat roofs
Hmm.
buildings, and it caught fire. And I think the people in it didn't realize it until someone went going by and said,
Your house is on fire.
house on fire. It's on fire. Yeah. So I think there were issues that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, we had a note that was called in 766-1240, and just that they were replying to stuff going on in the news. Most of what's going down in New York City with Trump's trial, and 50 jurors, potential jurors, said no, I can't be fair and impartial for this Donald Trump, Stormy Daniels
Yeah.
money thing trial. Now they got 500 jurors to pull from. 50 of them were let go. So it almost comes down to what Trump was saying. He has said, I can't get a fair trial in New York City.
Well, I don't think he can get a fair trial no matter where he goes. I mean, you either know him, you either like him or you don't.
Yeah.
So people are going to be biased no matter
Yeah,
where.
yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I mean, I don't care where that trial is held.
Okay.
There's
But it comes down to, well, how much out of the three of us, how much do we know about Trump and Stormy Daniels and about the money? I got very little information on this because I didn't care. She is saying that he paid her off. Okay, that's her story. He's saying he didn't.
Yeah.
And so basically, I could be an impartial juror on this because I haven't read into this as much as maybe I should have. So, and maybe it's got more coverage in New York City. So, I could be on this jury.
you could be impartial.
I
And
think so
unbiased.
because I just it's all about something that happened well over 10 years ago, and it's just about who did someone pay somebody money. It's got nothing to do with him being a nice guy or the president or whatever. I'd actually like to be on that jury to hear all the facts about it. But that's if they moved it to, they'd have to move the trial to Massachusetts.
That's a
Tough one.
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I think most people have an opinion of Donald Trump, and has nothing to do with this trial.
No, is that what the lawyers are asking the jurors? Do you have an opinion of whether or not you like Donald Trump or not? Is that what they're asking them?
Well, they're asking them, are you able to be a fair, impartial juror? But if you already don't like Donald Trump, I don't think
So
you
the
can
answer's
be
no.
fair.
Okay.
And if you do like him, I don't think you can be fair.
Right.
Okay.
Either way, I don't think you can be fair.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody you never heard of.
Well, right. He was
You
the
already
president.
know he was president for 4 years,
Yeah.
and you've already listened to all of the things that he has done and all of the things that he has said, and all you got to do is play the tape,
Yeah.
and you say, well, this guy lies all the time. Why am I supposed to believe that he's going to tell the truth today? Right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then if you're on the other side of the fence, you don't believe that he ever lied.
Mhm.
You fall in with his way of thinking and everything, and
that makes you biased too.
then that makes you biased too. I don't think
So
you
how
can
do-
get an unbiased jury.
Yeah. Exactly. No matter where he is, he's not been under a rock.
Well, right. But how do we find 14 people?
I don't think.
It can't be done?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
That'd
You know,
should
maybe
be
some
answered.
You can't.
some hillbilly place in West Virginia. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you can't cause a mistrial because we can't seat a jury. Can you?
Well, what's going to happen if you do seat a jury
All right.
and at the end they appeal it because you had a biased jury?
They might, yeah.
They will.
And we'll have
He
to start
appeals
all over.
everything.
We'll have
Oh,
to
yeah,
start all over
they'll
You know,
again.
appeal
he
it. Yeah.
appeals everything.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
not saying he's wrong for doing it. I'm
Yeah,
saying
that's the system.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll appeal it. And actually, people that voted for him through the years could easily go and say, well, I can be unbiased.
Well, they can't. The lawyers can't ask, well, "Did you vote for him?" Can they? They can't ask that, can they?
They can ask anything they want, as far as I know. But
Uh,
they would ask you that.
Who'd you
The
vote for?
first question would be, can you be an unbiased,
Yeah.
participant in a trial? And I mean, if one of the attorneys wanted to challenge you, he could ask you that question.
Did you vote for him or not? Wow. Seems like it's supposed to be an anonymous vote.
But you don't have to, I would say you don't have to answer it, really.
I guess you don't. Well, I guess you could say I'd rather not answer that, or.
It's none of your business.
All right.
Yeah,
Well.
and that's almost like an admission of
That you
of
voted
having
for.
voted for
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
It's a
Exactly.
really
Yeah,
difficult.
yeah. No, I think it's going to be difficult. He was the president. He's been, on the media so much by himself and, in the news and all. I think no matter where that trial is, the only thing it would be a different judge.
Well, right.
That's the only thing. If they moved it, it wouldn't be that judge that he
Uh-huh.
feels is
Well,
against.
Trump did ask to move it out of New York City, but
Yeah,
that was declined.
Yeah.
And so they're going to continue now down there in New York City, trying to seat some. But if the other jurors know, hey, I can get out of this by just admitting by just saying, I can't be fair and impartial. I can get out of it. I don't want to be here. So you can just say that, and then this thing could go on for months. All right, so we're moving right along now. It is time for a second message from the Carew Investment Group, and then we'll take a quick little break here on the Coffee and Program. Ed.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. And if you're looking for an investment firm that puts you first and works hard on your behalf, I'd like you to consider us. We're right here in Woonsocket, and we've been in business since 1987. So you don't have to go out of town for an experienced advisor or work with an advisor based in Boston or New York or who knows where, probably someone you're never going to meet. And we encourage our clients to come to the office and sit down with us as often as they like. Why? Because we like to do business the old-fashioned way. We want to get to know you on a more personal basis so that we're more attuned to your financial needs. So if you're interested in speaking with us for a free no-obligation consultation and find out more about how we invest your money, you could call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed. And the Coffee and Program will continue. You can call in your comments and questions at 766-1240.
Kafin Oil of Woonsocket offers top quality oil. Every gallon is treated with Beckett UltraGuard designed to reduce sludge and protect tanks. Ask about Kafin Oil's service contracts covering most parts and labor, as well as budget contracts to spread your payments over a 10-month period. Kafin Oil services oil and gas boilers, water heaters, and all types of ventilation and air conditioning systems. They'll be there when you need them. Kafin Oil, 765-3881.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON, AM, and FM.
All right, it is Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callan here with Ed Carew and Linda Thibault. And did I hear right? In part of the trial with Trump is I don't think the judge has ruled on it yet, but Trump asked the judge if he could attend his son's high school graduation.
Yeah, I heard that.
And but the judge hasn't ruled on it yet. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And so he might not be able to go.
I see.
I'm like, yeah, I don't see it. I really don't see a problem
No, he
with
should
him
be.
attending his son's high school
He
graduation.
should be allowed to go to his high school.
He's not really a flight risk, is he? I mean, he's not going to disappear and be going
I
to
think
ground.
everybody, they've all seen his picture.
Yeah, he's
really.
kind of tough to hide, and
Yeah.
he's got Secret Service protection,
Yeah.
right? So they always
Yeah,
know
they're
where he is. So wow. So okay. So the judge is going to be ruling on that. as well. In the on a different subject in the sporting world, it was kind of a shocker. It came out yesterday that John Sterling, and if you don't know who John Sterling is, he is the radio play-by-play man for the New York Yankees, immediately retired. The season has just started. And he said, that's it. Done. Now, what I heard a little bit this morning was it's possibly a medical situation.
Oh, okay.
He's 85.
Oh,
And so his they have cut down the amount of games he does, kind of like with Joe Castiglione in Boston. John and Joe don't travel with the team anymore. When the team goes out to Los Angeles or out to California, they don't go. They just stay back and they don't do the games. They only do the games, at Yankee
home
Stadium.
games,
Joe
yeah.
only does the games at Fenway Park. But John Sterling, because we always made fun of John Sterling because of what he used to say whenever the Yankees won. He always had that special, the Yankees won. The Yankees won. Very, very distinct. But it was just a kind of a surprise that, that he started the season and then right here in April, okay, that's it, all done. All right, well, hope he feels okay if it is a medical thing.
wish him well. Happy retirement.
Yeah, so keeping it on the sports thing is just amazing. The Boston Marathon was yesterday.
Yes.
And the winner came in at 2 hours and 2 minutes. Are you kidding?
Can you even believe that?
What's he got on his feet? Rockets? I mean, you get the Wile E. Coyote Acme
And they said he had
rocket skates.
the wind at his back helped.
I guess, yeah. Well, we were figuring it out yesterday, and John Ward was here. You have to run at a clip of 12 miles per hour. He goes, try getting on a treadmill and bump up the speed to 12 miles an hour. See if you can do it for 10 seconds.
That's a lot. Yeah.
That's really, really
That's
fast
a lot.
when you're running.
Yeah.
And they do it for the whole 26 miles.
I know.
I'm like, that's astounding.
You've got to. I'm so impressed by those folks that can do that. It's just the training and everything that they've put in. It's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Now, former Boston Bruin, Zdeno Chara. This man is in the best shape I think of everybody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Finished it again.
He did, huh?
He came in at 3 hours and 30 minutes, which is great.
Yeah.
And he shaved 7 or 8 minutes off his run from last year.
Yeah.
I go,
Yeah.
wow. And not only did he finish and complete it, this Sunday is the London Marathon, and he's flying over there.
He's going to do the
and he's
London?
going to run in that.
Yeah. Wow.
After, 6 days rest?
Wow. God.
And run another one.
Yeah. God, no, that's
I know he takes really long strides because he's
Well, he's
6'9".
no, he's got very long legs, and besides
Oh, yeah.
that, you played hockey.
Yeah.
You do need a lot of cardio and
Oh,
stamina
sure.
to play
and
hockey.
And he's got it.
And no, that's what I mean. And
Yeah.
he's been doing that for a lot of his life.
And even
know.
even when he played in Boston, his house or wherever he lived within the city limits, whenever he went to the games at the Garden, rode his bicycle.
Yeah.
He didn't take a car,
Yeah. No,
So-
but that's what I mean. So
which helps
he's-
his legs and his cardio.
Yeah.
So in how old, what is he,
How's-
45?
It's gonna be 45.
Yeah, or so.
Yeah.
And it's just
yeah.
the best shape.
Because didn't he play till he was 42?
I think so. And yeah, it's been a few
42,
years now.
43, Yeah.
But it's just
Yeah.
it's
But
amazing.
no, that's very impressive.
Yes. And most people say, if I run the marathon, well, I'm going to take a few months off. No,
Yeah.
there's another one coming up in a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Yeah. No,
Wow.
and running, I mean, I'm impressed when I do walking a 15-minute mile. I'm so happy with me.
All right. Well, on a different note, here in Rhode Island, if you're in the right county, your tax deadline has
It's
moved.
extended because
And so it's not today of April 16th because of Patriots Day. April 15th was not the tax deadline. But only if you're in Providence, Kent, and Washington counties.
and had a flood and had flood situations.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why they did it.
Yeah.
The deadline to file and pay federal income tax has been extended 3 months
Yeah.
for filers and businesses in 3 Rhode Island counties because of storm declarations a few months back.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Woonsocket is in the Providence County.
Yeah.
So if you're in Newport and Bristol, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
It's just too bad. You don't get this. They still needed to file by yesterday. But now, if you're in Providence, Kent, and Washington counties, the deadline to file and pay Rhode Island state income tax has been extended to July 15th for everyone. It doesn't. You don't have to declare that you had an issue.
Oh, I believe you do.
I'm just looking at the story here.
doesn't say that?
Well, it just says for everyone.
Oh, really?
The deadline to file is for everyone.
Oh,
Just
well,
because you're in,
well, I'm in Providence County, but I filed.
you filed already.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Does the IRS do that often, Ed? If there's some kind of situation
Yeah, it's happened before.
in
Did they
other,
do
not
it?
just this state, but other,
Yeah,
other
they
states.
did it in COVID.
Yeah.
During COVID, they did that.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay.
During COVID,
See
they
how
did.
soon-
Yeah.
How soon we forget these things,
yeah.
All right. Well, if the lucky people there. All right. Other things going on in the news. I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but protesters shut down the Golden Gate Bridge in both directions, and it's things I don't understand why they do this, and how they think they're gonna get things are gonna happen the way they want it to. These are the people that want Palestine to be free. And so they shut the Golden Gate Bridge down. They just because the protesters came out and sat on the bridge. So hoping no one will run them over,
Yeah.
and no one did.
Well, that's
So it just backs up traffic. And I just don't get it, because if people protested in Germany saying, Joe Biden was elected, and they were upset that Joe Biden was elected, what is people protesting in Germany going to do for us here in the United States? Would we even know about it? Would we even care?
well, I think what they're protesting is that they want those in power to not back Israel.
Or are they trying to get Netanyahu to back down?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think he cares too diddly about that.
Well, that's right.
No, but I mean, what they're trying to influence the people that can make a difference in our
Here.
country, the politicians, the president,
Is
the
that what
administration.
you think that's what they're
that's,
doing?
That's my opinion.
All right.
That they're trying to,
Influence.
they're trying to influence. Sure.
Is that what they're trying to do, Ed?
Yeah.
We don't
she's
want
got
to
it exactly
send-
right. Linda's got it exactly right.
All right.
We're trying to influence our elected officials to not provide them with additional aid and things like that.
So no more military aid, no more money.
Yeah, and if we don't, well then, there's only a limited amount of warfare that he can carry out, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense, and I guess that's what they're trying to get across. But I saw the people that were being displaced because of that. I haven't been to San Francisco. Has anybody been to San Francisco?
I have been, but not recently.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
How
been.
close is the Golden Gate Bridge to the airport in San Francisco?
I'm not good with distance.
No. Because I saw people what looked
about
like
that far
it's about
on
that
the
far on the
map.
map. That's right. It's
On
about
the
3
map,
inches.
it's
It's
like
about 3
that.
inches. But what you saw is people getting out of their cars, and I'm going to assume they're like taxi cabs and Uber drivers and Lyft drivers, with luggage, and now they're walking, because we just don't know how long this thing is going to last,
Yeah.
and it looks like they're going to be walking to the airport, and I just don't know how close the airport is
I don't-
to the Golden Gate Bridge to see how long of a walk do they have to get to the airport. And the people walking were not amused.
Well, I'm sure they were not.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be amused either.
They were giving a lot of one-finger salutes to the people that were sitting on the
Yeah.
bridge.
And I bet if you looked at the group, they seem to be the young,
The people sitting down.
yeah.
Tough
it's like
tough to tell, because it was kind of a it was
because,
the what I saw was
like
a
they
long
used to
shot.
when they were protesting, the Vietnam War, and they were a lot of the colleges and
Yeah.
universities and young people.
I couldn't tell the ages of the
Yeah,
people of the
yeah.
group that was sitting down on the bridge. Although the people walking, they look to be younger,
Yeah.
because I got to get somewhere. I got to got to get to the airport. You got to go through TSA. You got to get to your gate. It's all a timing issue, and now you have disrupted that. immensely.
That's what they were trying to do.
And, well, then
Yeah.
they accomplished their goal.
They were trying to
You know,
disrupt and
my
gather
question
attention.
is, why were they allowed to disrupt
th-
everybody else?
That was the other thing.
Well, I thought that was against the law on something public like that.
That's-
You can't do that, and you can get arrested.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if they can get arrested for doing anything in San Francisco.
Yeah, well, this is this
I
is
did.
true.
I
you
did
know.
read that yesterday. That yes, it is against the law
Yeah,
to be blocking.
yeah.
traffic like
well,
that.
traffic or any public. Yeah.
But they also, what I also said was the police were hard. Although this is what people said online, so take it for what it's worth. That the police were hardly doing anything
Really
to the protesters.
Yeah.
They were just letting them do their thing.
peaceful demonstration.
They're doing a peaceful demonstration, so we'll just let it go, even though you've shut down the Golden Gate Bridge. So,
Yeah,
so that was yesterday in California. Who knows if they'll be back today to take care of that. All right, we got to take a look at the forecast right now, and the forecast is being brought to you by True Green. Today will be a sunny day, high temperature near 70. Light northwest wind increasing to 6 to 11 miles per hour. We could have wind gusts as high as 22 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear skies, low temperature around 37. Calm wind becoming north around 6 miles per hour. Wednesday's weather, increasing clouds with a high temperature near 62. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy with a low temperature around 41. Thursday, mostly cloudy with scattered showers. Late in the day, high will be near 54. Friday, mostly cloudy, high near 57. Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, we have sunny skies and 55 degrees. If you want a great-looking lawn, contact True Green today. All you have to do is water and mow. Sign up by April 20th to get one application free with an annual plan. Restrictions do apply.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Kathleen LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making, so many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket.
The third annual ON Radio's Senior Resource Fair will be happening on Saturday, April 20th from 9 a.m. to noontime. The fair will be held at the Woonsocket Elks Hall, 380 Social Street, Woonsocket. It's free admission to visit the over 20 vendors that will be in attendance. Some of the vendors in attendance will be Visiting Angels of Rhode Island, Aldersbridge Communities, Blackstone Prevention Coalition, Crossroads Real Estate Group, and Chapel Hill Senior Living. Come by and visit with Manny and Virginia Brandow and Gary Smith and the Do You Remember crew. We hope to see you at the third annual ON Radio's Senior Resource Fair, Saturday, April 20th at the Elks Hall on Social Street from 9 to noon. All right, it's Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Hope you can join us at the third annual Senior Resource Fair. That is coming up this coming Saturday, 9 to noon, at the Elks Hall, 380 Social Street. Free admission to get in. Joe Callahan here, Linda Tebow, and Ed Cruz here as well. And yeah, I did see it online. It is illegal to block bridges and highways and things like that.
Yeah.
But why the police let it happen and didn't start bringing them out, dragging them out, I don't know.
Because you're in California.
Because you're in California. That's just what it comes down to, I guess. So, all right, things going on a little bit closer to home. So these four guys have been arrested. It was a big theft ring that covered 4 states: Mass, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. From what I hear, I believe they're all Guatemalan nationals. And what they would do is they would go to Home Depot stores and steal high-end tools, flooring, wiring, and other high-end stuff that they could find. But the weird thing is they got caught because they tried to sell the items back to the store. Now, as someone that worked in retail for quite a while with some very high-end stuff, computers and things like that, no one ever tried to sell us. No one came into the store and said, "Buy this from me." We know you sell this, so you should buy it from me. You know, they wanted to do a return or something like that. And maybe they wanted their money back, and do you have a receipt and like that? And if you didn't, well, then it's store creditors or something like that. Whatever we did at the time. The part where we're going to sell it back to you
Yeah, that doesn't make
is
sense.
just the stores would have been like, we don't buy from you. We have our distributors that come and drop stuff off for us. So maybe that's what tipped them off, that someone is trying to sell us stuff. And the store, all the stores talk to each other. And I'm missing 3 circular saws. Hey, someone just tried to sell us 3 circular saws in our area. So, but they got them all. They got all 4 of them. They received a lot of the stolen goods that could be traced back to, yes, they are stolen from Home Goods. A lot of cash as well. And they got a couple. They arrested 3 of them at homes in Providence and Cranston, and they got 1 in Pennsylvania. They will be extraditing him back to Rhode Island to face the charges. So,
Interesting. How do you, I've been to Home Depot, and, those things are big.
yeah.
How do they get them out without people noticing that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like, well, I just stole a necklace. I'll put it in my bag or something, but
Yeah, the stuff they're talking about, I'm
that's
not
big
sure.
stuff.
It is. The stuff they're talking about is usually inside the store, because you could think maybe they could get away with it because they always line up their like gas grills
Yeah, outside.
and
Outside,
chairs are
yeah.
outside.
But they showed, I saw that they show pictures in the store.
Yes,
With the, those big carts they have.
right. So I don't know.
They assume they've been through the cash register to pay for them.
I don't know. I don't know if maybe they go out the door that's for contractors. That's kind of separate from the rest of
Yeah.
the retail store, and maybe
Yeah.
was possible because we used to do this. Not that we had separate doors, but we used to do this at CompUSA. Certain businesses had a deal with the store where they came and picked up stuff, and we billed them. And so they didn't have to pay cash
okay.
up front. This is probably why CompUSA went out of business, Ed. But that was the deal. Was okay. You brought it. The businesses would bring it up to the certain desk, not the return desk. It was another desk, and gave us whatever number they had to give us, and we looked up their account. And this is him, and we printed something up, and now this is your receipt. It was completely different from the other kind of retail receipts, and here you go. So they could get out the door. So now I know Home Depot has their contractor door, which is separate from the rest. So maybe if they're just putting stuff on there, and they're going out that door,
Yeah.
people would just assume, well, we're billing them. So they're not
Yeah.
stealing from us.
I don't know.
So, but apparently,
Flooring.
yeah.
Yeah, really.
How do you steal flooring?
Well, some of it comes in boxes.
yeah,
I mean,
but big
stealing-
boxes.
yeah, real big. Yeah, they're like 6 feet long, and
yeah, big boxes.
that's why they're in those orange carts pushing them out.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, if you're a contractor, I'm a floorer. I'm installing this floor in someone's home,
Yeah, so
and I need
yeah,
these many boxes. So, thank you very much.
Yeah,
I'm on my way.
yeah.
Well, they figured it out at least for a
I'm
little
glad
while.
they caught them.
They have been caught, and we got to get the other guy back from Pennsylvania. All right. Speaking of juries, with the Donald Trump situation, jury selection begins today. If you're following this case in Dedham Superior Court on the woman from Mansfield who's accused of running over her boyfriend, the cop, and her defense is, nope, I dropped him off at a house, not his house, but the house of another Boston cop in Canton, Massachusetts, and drove away. And he must have been killed there and left outside. That's her defense, or the lawyer's defense, anyway. So they're gonna start their jury selection today. This one I could not be impartial with, Ed.
No.
I live in the same town,
Oh, so there you
so
go.
I don't think they would right away. Even though I don't know her,
Yeah.
I don't know where she lives in town. But even though I'm in town,
Yeah.
okay, I would immediately
See,
be
that's
off.
another one that's been well publicized.
Yes, it has.
That's been going
And
on
for a while.
3 years, I
3
guess.
Well, he died in 2022,
22.
so
Close
yeah,
A
enough.
couple
2
of
years.
years.
2 years, and
So
it's
it-
now just coming to trial now.
Yeah, it's been well publicized.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got her supporters.
She does. They're there at the courthouse.
Oh
yeah.
yes, free Karen Reed.
Yeah,
And now the judge had to establish a 200-foot buffer zone
yeah,
to back from the courthouse, so you
yeah,
to keep those protesters back.
yeah.
So, but there's protesters on the other side too.
Yeah,
Not as many,
no.
but they're there to support. Oh yeah, she definitely did this kind of thing. But I hope they could seat a jury for this one. And people would say they could be fair and impartial.
I would think yeah, I would think so.
Okay. I almost said, gee, I wonder why it's being tried in Dedham, and not down in Fall River, because she's from Mansfield. That's because because of the death occurred in Canton, which is in that county. That's why it's
Well,
being.
that's why. Yeah.
But I have done jury at Dedham's jury duty in Dedham Superior Court, and the building's about 1,000 years old. And the jurors are down in the basement, really in the dungeon. It is dank and not nice in that building for the jurors. It's and the ceilings are about 6 feet, so you're right at the
Whoa.
ceiling
Wow.
when you stand up. It's very claustrophobic
Wow.
down there. I went to jury duty there once, and what happened was. That was when they said, "Okay, we have our 14 jurors. The rest of you, we don't need you anymore for the rest of the day." And it was 10 o'clock in the morning. See you later, bye. And I was out the door. It was the one time that the jurors, the judge asked the jurors. He gave a pretty decent long speech, about 10 minutes, about how he doesn't let anybody go, unless there's real extenuating circumstances. And so he explained himself for 10 minutes how he doesn't let anybody go. And now he goes, now, is there anyone in the jury pool that still thinks they should go? 3 hands go up. And I'm just shaking my head. You fools.
Yeah.
And so, and now you couldn't hear what was going on, which was too bad, because I would have liked to have heard what they had. What was their explanation of why they thought they could go?
Yeah.
And one woman went up, and he's like, nope, go sit back down. Next woman came up, and he's just shaking his head, and he went, nope, go sit back down. The third one was a guy, and he went up, and he pleaded his case, and the judge said, nope, go sit back down. And he was mad. I could tell with him. And then they picked the jurors. Didn't they pick that guy? And he was even more furious that he was now picked to be on the jury, and the rest of us got to go home.
Yeah.
He was just beside himself. He was so angry. So, but I never, you don't know the case, and so they said the rest of us could go home for the rest of the day, and that's always been my luck on jury duty in Mass. For whatever reason, whenever I go, there's always usually just they're going to seat for one jury for one court case, and I've never been picked. And they said we don't have any other cases today, so you're all excused. Excellent. We'll see you in 3 years.
There you go.
That's the way they do it in Mass. All right, break time here on the Coffee and program. More coming your way. We ask you to please stay with us. At Dean Bank, their focus is on helping their customers achieve financial success. Dean Bank is a full-service bank, so they're able to deliver solutions that solve financial problems of all shapes and sizes. And as your neighbor, it's their mission to make a positive impact within the communities where they live and work. Dean Bank offers scholarships to students from participating schools, sponsor local charitable organizations, and more. Visit one of their local Blackstone Valley branches in Bellingham and Blackstone today, or find us online at deanbank.com. Dean Bank, It's my bank.
The North Smithfield Emergency Management Agency has been awarded a grant to sponsor a 9-week Community Emergency Response Team training class, CERT, for area residents of Woonsocket, North Smithfield, Smithfield, Lincoln, Cumberland, and Burville. The CERT class includes training on the psychology of disaster trauma, light search and rescue, emergency preparedness, fire safety, and basic first aid. The class will be offered free of charge and will be held on Tuesday nights from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. starting April 23rd through June 18th at the North Smithfield Emergency Management Office at 83 Green Street, North Smithfield. For further information, www.nsema.org. Remember, disaster preparedness should not be an afterthought, now more than ever.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It is Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Ed Crew and Linda Thibault. And CBS Television did a big boo-boo.
CBS?
CBS. Yes, they did.
What did they do?
Sunday night,
Billy Joel.
they aired the Billy Joel concert on their network. It was a pre-taped concert. It was celebrating Joel's 100th residency show at Madison Square Garden. And with 2 minutes to go in his last song, Piano Man, they cut him off. Stop. And so the people on the East Coast and the Central Time Zone, they were cut off. And the people on the West Coast got to see it. Well, I guess the phone calls started and the social media started. And they flooded CBS. It was delayed, by the way. Even though the show, the concert was pre-taped, the concert was delayed 30 minutes because the Masters golf tournament went long.
Yeah.
And so they started it late as it is. So they cut it off because, around 11, because the local news affiliates wanted to start their news. And so they cut it off. So here come the phone calls, here comes the text, here comes the social media of outraged Billy Joel fans. You cut off the last song.
Especially
And
that
so-
song.
Especially that song, which is this huge song. So CBS apologized to Billy Joel and to his fans and says, due to overwhelming demand from his legions of fans, they will now replay the concert this coming Friday in its entirety, starting at 9 p.m. And they will not cut it off at the end of the concert. So there's no Masters tournament to worry about this time round, and
No.
they'll be good to go. It's almost like Heidi, but not quite. But I guess the people in the Mountain Time Zone and in the West Coast, they were able to see it.
They were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe because the call started and said, well, for those people, I guess we'll just let it
Right.
go. But things kept coming up, the ugliness.
Yeah, the Masters ran late, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so
we were
how
watching
dare
it.
you do this to
Yeah.
us and
Yeah.
kind of thing. So CBS has acquiesced, and they will now re-show the show this coming Friday in case you want to see it again. I was not watching it, by the way.
I wasn't watching it.
I-
We were watching the Masters, but I wasn't watching it. But I heard that they did that.
Oh, okay.
Bad.
Have you ever told my Billy Joel story?
No.
No, I didn't know you had a Billy
I have a
Joel
Billy
song.
Joel story. Yeah, how about that? In 1982, all right, my friend and I were going to go to our very first real concert. We were 16 at the time, and we could drive, and there wasn't the restrictions that you have now. And we were going to go see Billy Joel. And somehow we went down to the Civic Center at some point, and we bought our tickets. $15. It was $15. Well,
Whoa. Yeah, and those,
I had to work a lot to get up
get
to $15. I was
yeah,
only making
yeah.
$3 an hour working, but we got the money together and we paid $15 for our tickets to see Billy Joel. The problem was the show was in February, and the day of the show, it snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed and snowed, and I'm listening to the radio, praying that the show has been canceled or rescheduled for another time. And they kept saying, roads are terrible. The plows are out. Stay home if you can. By the way, the Billy Joel concert is going on as scheduled because he was in town, and he made it. He was at his hotel, and I'm here. I
Yeah.
can walk to the Civic Center
Yeah.
at the time. So he went on and put on the show, and I just took $15 and threw it out the window. My friend and I, our parents said, "There's no way you're driving
no, of course
down to
not.
Providence in this snowstorm." No. And they were right. I get it. And I said, "Well, who's going to reimburse me for my $15? Nobody."
Nobody.
This is one of those life lessons.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
February,
that's my
yeah.
that's my, and I have never seen Billy Joel in concert. By
No.
the way, I'm still waiting for him to send me a check for $15.
There you go.
It hasn't arrived yet. So, so that what else? Other things are going on. You probably agree with this, Linda being the registered nurse. The majority of Americans say they'd feel better if they had more sleep.
Yeah.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It makes,
yeah.
it makes perfect sense.
Exactly.
A Gallup survey showed that 57% say they'd benefit from more sleep, compared to 42% who say they get enough sleep.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that's so high.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that says, "Oh yeah, I get plenty of sleep."
Yeah, I don't.
This is the first time since Gallup began polling the question in 2001. Less than half said they get as much sleep as they need. The last time the poll was conducted in 2013, the numbers were nearly reversed, with 56% saying they get enough sleep. So, and I said, well, it's really my own fault.
Well, you get up really early.
I do,
Yeah.
and but therefore I'm also staying up later than I
Later
should.
than we should. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, the Red Sox are on.
I know. But and that's the thing. They realize, yes.
Yeah.
It is. So go to bed earlier, right?
Well, that's right. And if I was smart, yeah, I would go to bed like at 8:30.
But who does that?
I know. I go.
Right.
But sometimes I'm still raising a child, and
Yeah.
sometimes she's at work, and I'm waiting for her to get home.
Well, sure.
So I gotta be a dad kind
Yeah.
of
Well,
thing.
no. Yeah.
So yeah, there's always a
Yeah.
there's always an excuse.
Yeah, life gets in the way.
Life
Well,
gets in the
life
way.
gets in the way.
Ed, do you
It's true.
think you get enough sleep?
Yeah, I think I do.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay, you're one of the 42% that said you're all set.
Yeah, for the most. But
Yeah.
when I don't, it's my own fault. It's because I wanted to
Yeah.
stay up later for something.
Whatever
it's
reason.
not the Red Sox game. Yeah.
Bruins,
No.
Celtics are playing on the West Coast.
I don't see it for any. Yeah.
What's that?
No, I mean, yeah. It is. My little dog gets up very early in the morning.
Okay, they always get enough sleep. Animals are so smart.
Well, animals, they just sleep.
They just sleep when they want.
Yeah.
No
they,
issues
They don't
with
have to
them.
go to work. They don't have to.
Nope.
They just
When
sleep.
they tired, they know it's time to sleep.
Yeah.
We don't
so,
care what time of day it is. The world's oldest conjoined twins have passed away. Lori and George Chappell died at the hospital of the University of Pennsylvania on April 7th. They were 62 years old. George, who identified as a male for the past 17 years, so I guess he was female to begin with, and his sister were joined at their foreheads. Wow. And I guess they must have shared a brain of some sort, or part of it, so you can't separate them.
It would have been hard.
It would have killed them.
Yeah.
Now, the obituaries say George, this is the male, he performed as a country music singer. And Lori, she had her own interest, including being an accomplished bowler. Imagine that. And no word yet on their cause of death.
Wow.
But made it to 62.
62.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And didn't I just read that one of the another conjoined twins just got married? Again, two sisters, somewhere in the U.S.,
Really?
and only one of the sisters got married.
Oh.
I don't know if this is just an internet thing. Maybe it's just maybe they're making it up. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So
A lot of stuff on the internet.
Yeah,
Is
you
it
don't-
made up,
can't
really?
Believe,
Yeah,
yeah,
really.
You can't believe.
So now, how about this, Linda? We were always told growing up, oh yeah, eat more seafood, eat more fish. Fish is brain food,
Yeah.
and like that.
Yeah.
Well, people who eat a lot of seafood may be at a higher risk of exposure to so-called forever chemicals. All right. A new study published last week in the journal Exposure and Health tested several species in a New Hampshire seafood market, and it found high levels of these toxic chemicals known as PFAS in shrimp and in lobster.
Really?
Chemicals can come from several sources, including industrial discharge, firefighting foam, and various household products that just get into the water
True,
supply.
yeah. I thought mercury was the big thing.
I think that's
But now
I think that's
that-
gone away, and
That's
now it's
go-
being replaced.
Now it's being replaced.
PFAS, PFAS, it's just
N-
PFAS
not
for
heard of
short.
it. Not have heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes sense because all that stuff does end up in the oceans eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually.
So now are we saying don't eat fish?
I
Don't
know.
eat seafood, even though it's better, supposedly better for
Supposed to be
you?
omega 3s, low,
That's right.
supposed to be healthy stuff.
When you go to the Stone Forge, do you order,
Living is bad
you
for your
order fish?
health, but it beats
It's
the
bad for your health?
alternative. But it beats the alternative.
Not that often.
Not that often.
I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
a big seafood eater.
No,
No.
I like fish. Usually, I don't cook it at home usually, and that's what when I go out, and I'll have it when I go out. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. I was at Stop and Shop a couple of weeks ago, getting my one piece of Alaska cod fillet at $8.99 a pound.
Yeah.
Luckily, usually the piece I get comes in less than a pound.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm getting my one piece, and doesn't a gentleman come up to me that doesn't work there? He's another customer, and he asked me, "Hey, how do you prepare that?"
And
I
how
said,
did you?
"I-
How
really?
do you prepare?
Well, this is how you do it. This is what I do. Try to do it as simple as possible. You get out I get out a carousel dish. Okay, put down some aluminum foil so it doesn't stick. Spray it. And
Carousel dish?
did I say carousel?
You did.
I did. Not a carousel.
Casserole.
Casserole. Thank you. It's a casserole dish.
Yeah, I was trying to
It
say-
didn't sound right.
What-
Carousel.
I was working on that too.
Sorry, casserole.
Yeah.
or a cookie sheet. I guess it doesn't really matter. Just put down some aluminum foil, spray it so it doesn't stick. Put out the fish, and I said for a little flavor, I have this is my own personal favorite. I have Lawry's seasoned salt. I don't know if you ever purchased that. Sprinkle a little, not too much. Just sprinkle a little on top. You preheat the oven for 400. Put it in for half an hour. Done.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Nope.
Yeah.
All set, all cooked, and just take it out. You can tell it's done because it's falling apart as you're lifting it out of the dish or the thing. Put it on the dish, and you don't have to put any pepper or salt on it. It's already got it on there, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
So he said thank you, and bought a piece for himself.
There you go.
So he's gonna try it. So
Yeah, fish is, it isn't tough to, once in a while I'll get a piece of salmon because I like salmon, salmon steak. And yeah, sometimes even 20 minutes it's done.
it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, fish cooks fast, but it's getting expensive.
Yes, it is.
And $8.99 a pound is actually one of the best prices. I've seen it higher.
Oh, yeah.
Like at 10 and 12. I'm like, God, is there that much of a shortage of fish? Maybe there is out there in Alaska. I don't know. So anyway, a pilot and a dog are alive after a small plane landed in the ocean off the coast of California. The pilot and the dog swam to shore after the landing, which happened about 5:20 Sunday afternoon. It's unclear what prompted the pilot to land in the water. The Los Angeles County Fire Department and the U.S. Coast Guard are working to recover the plane. It must have been tough on the pilot. He's got to swim,
Yeah,
and you want to save your dog too.
yeah.
But dogs know how to swim.
Yeah.
For the most part?
Most dogs know how to swim and are able to swim, yes.
So they just swam to safety.
Yeah.
I'm glad they make it. And there's a commercial on in I don't know if it's in Rhode Island, but it's in Massachusetts. You see it, Ed? I can't remember who it's for. I think it's for an insurance company. But it shows a fishing boat like out of Hull, Massachusetts, and they spot a golden retriever just swimming in the harbor.
Right.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No.
So they swing the boat over, and they pick the dog up and put him on the boat. And as they're coming into the dock, there's the owner's that owns the dog, and she's so appreciative that she sees her dog's alive. But it never tells you how did the dog end up in the harbor, swimming by itself.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
not like it doesn't look like she's had an accident, or because she's not all wet from swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's a commercial.
It is, and I
Yeah.
wish I could remember. It's something about. It's something about just being nice, just for the sake of being nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're thanking the captain of the boat who brought him in, and he's just waving, okay, no problem, and he didn't do it to make money or anything like that. He just saved the dog because that was the right thing to do, is to save the dog. And I can't remember what service they're pushing.
Well, that commercial didn't work.
Well, it's not. I can remember the commercial. I just don't remember what the service is for. Oh well.
Well, when there's a dog, you always face, especially a golden,
Yes, they're beautiful.
what's not to love? Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. It's always appreciated. Ed Crew, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for inviting me.
All right, and Linda Tebow, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
All right, my name is Joe Callahan. Have yourself a fantastic day. Enjoy the sunshine today. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do remembers coming up next at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
Jury selection begins today in Dedham Superior Court in the trial of Karen Reed. The Mansfield woman was indicted for second-degree murder after prosecutors accused her of running over her Boston cop boyfriend with her car on purpose in 2022. Reed's attorneys claim O'Keefe was actually beaten to death after she dropped him off at the Canton home of another Boston cop, and